Hey everybody, this is Delta69 for Paw Productions. Not doing a review right now. Like some of you have seen our reviews now, you probably think because I got the whiteboard up and everything I'm doing a review, but I'm not. We're actually doing a how-to video today. And since it's winter months and there's some items coming on sale, or going on sale on some local stores and probably some stores everywhere else everybody's at, I figured I'd do it. You can see in front of you, it looks like a watch cap. Actually, I got two watch caps. Ooh, fancy. Watch caps, toques, beanies, skull caps, whatever you want to call them. These ones are made from fleece. Right now in some stores, some fabric stores, it's actually getting to where they're going to have like 50% off some of their fabrics and their fleeces, because now that we're in January, it's kind of coming out of the winter months, but we all know for sure that it's still going to be kind of chilly the next couple months. These are real simple to make, and figured I'd do a little how-to on that. What you want to do, depending on how many hats you want to make, for example, I just buy a yard, like 1 yard of fabric. I think should do about 3 adult hats. I could be wrong. I read when I was looking around for patterns or trying to find how to make these, it was like a yard to like 4 hats, but I'm gonna say 3, and if you get 4, then there you go. I just purchased some basic polar fleece and some heavier stuff that's probably around 300 weight non-pile fleece. Got a little subdued pea soup green here. It's awesome, isn't it? Pea soup. I could like rename it like dark urban wood and probably like market these for like $90 a hat, like some people. But anyway, you can get everything. Look, see, there's Ozcam. You get everything from digital woodland to digital desert. I've seen woodland, all kinds of different colors, and hot pink and neon green if you'd like. Even tie-dye with little flowers, and Dora the Explorer fabric too. Awesome. But on to the how-to. You're going to need, like I said, if you get your fabric, each one of these hats will usually take up a 2 by you might as well figure a 12 foot, not 12, sorry, 24 by 24 square, so you're looking about 2 foot by 2 foot. That'll leave you with some scrap. The exact measurements are going to vary per person. I wear a 7 1/4 inch hat. Even though there is stretch on the fleece, you should leave more for that. And what it is you'll end up with measurements that will run for your hat size. You actually will cut your length, which would be for 7 1/4 and up. I would suggest really that you start at like 23 1/2 to 24 inches. I'd give it a little bit more. This way, your other cut is your height. You can go a little bit. I'd probably say start around 14 to 16, depending on how big of a cuff you want to make and how long you want it to sit on your neck. That's kind of like a hit and miss. My very first hat, which is this one. I actually did buy some measurements I found online, and it fits my head a little snug, but it only roll down maybe just at the top of my ears, and not all the way down to where you can stretch it towards the back of your neck if you wanted to. This is a pretty basic design that I'm going to show you here. There's all kinds out there, but this is a basic one. So you'll have your one cut, which we'll say 24 inches. You're going to go up, let's say, by 16. So you got 24 by 16. For illustration purposes, and to show you without actually sewing one right now, because I can't put the sewing machine in front of this fancy whiteboard, is I'm going to use a piece of 1000 D Cordura. So when you get done cutting your 24 by your 16, it's going to look kind of like this. You're going to fold it over. You're going to set your sewing machine to sew in a zigzag pattern, and the reason why you want to do that is even though while the fleece does stretch, you still want to have that elasticity so that your seams can stretch and give you more. Because like I said, even though you're measuring for your 7 1/4 melon, you're still going to have to turn around, and you figure by the time you stretch it down over your ears or towards the base of your neck to try to keep that wind off of you, you're going to need that extra stretch. So all your seams that you do on these, you want to have on your zigzag. You're going to fold over that piece. Alright, you're going to do your zigzag all the way down the length. Then you're going to turn around and you're going to fold it over on itself, but inside out, kind of like if you were to fold a sock. for example. Here we go. This is an old one I tried to reverse engineer. Basically, after you sew it, it's going to look like this. It's going to be like a solid tube. You're basically going to turn it inside of itself like that. So now you have a tube, and when you straighten out the top here, it's going to basically be 4 layers in a square that's going to be open at both ends. The reason why you do that is so you end up with a your bottom doesn't have no seams. See how it's all nice and there's no seams. Of course, this one has a seam because it's a reversible from Ozcam to dark urban wood pea soup. So now you've got that. Then you have to, some of the patterns will actually get to where you have to cut like this, and you fold everything in and taper it all down. Since I'm doing this the real fast and easy, I mean literally you can bang one of these out like in like if you're really quick, probably under 10 minutes. What I did was I just took a 1.5 gallon frosting bucket, and as you can see, boom, I made myself a there, get the seam fold out, hem fold out of. Basically just made a half circle at the top of your tube. I traced it out and I cut it. This one I'll turn it inside out because that's what you're going to do. Everything's going to be inside out, so your finished product. So the inside of your hat, and you can see where you have your seam up the middle, which is little Frankenstein looking stitches. On the other side it'll end up looking the same way. It hides all those. And then this is your top seam, and you'll do the same thing. You'll trace it out and you'll cut it and you'll seam it across. It'll stop. When you get down to where it stops, that's fine, because your bucket or your pattern or whatever you want to use to cut this section is going to stop. Problem is then it gives you these little devil ears that kind of stick out, look like little kitty cat ears. So what I did was I actually took it and sewed it all the way down even further, so that way when you hem it up, hold on a second. When you do fold it and everything, it goes and it's all nice and round and looks like a watch cap should. And then that's done. You're done. That's it. Sew that off. You can trim off your edges, make them all nice and everything like that. Get it hemmed up. Try it on for size. See how it fits you. The only problem I think most people will have is their machines. When you get to doing 4 layers of fleece, which will be with this inside, or any of your seams, especially if you do a reversible one, you're going to have like 4 layers of this fleece you're going to have to sew through. So make sure your needle is good and sharp and changed out. Thread, I think I'm using a 16D. It's the same stuff I was using to sew some fedora, which is why I had the scraps here. You want to make sure it's pretty sharp so it'll go through. The 16D had no problem. I mean, the machine I got is pretty strong, so it's punching right through these 4 layers pretty quick, but it does get a little bit of friction on it. Thread wise, I'm not using anything special, just your basic dual purpose XP thread, and that's it. That's how you make your watch cap. Like I said, depending on how fancy you want to get, you can put little tabs on here so you can hang up to dry or whatever, but you can make them any which way you want, guys. And that's it. A little helpful stay warm winter tip from us at Paul Productions. Alright, go out there and make some fancy ones. Do us proud. Find some multicam one. That way everybody will flock to you be your best friend because you got multicam beanie caps. So I'm Delta 69 for Paul Productions. I hope this helped. Get out there, keep sewing, and make some stuff. Have fun and stay warm.